Okay. That. Oh. Getting things started here. Don't need that anymore. Let's see. I think I want this one. I think this is the right one. Got all of our stuff in it. How about our game? Whoops, hold on. Forwarded sources. Game capture. That one. No. Ah, haha. Wait, that's still not working. Got game audio going. There it is. Nope, wait, that's not it. There's my debugger. No, how do I get to the game? I don't need the... Okay. Aha! There we go. Okay. Oh, what are these? Hold on. Oh. Oh, that's cool. Oh, look at all that stuff. I don't think I need any of that, but that's cool. Okay. All right. We got game, we got audio, we got all the windowy things. What's in my notepad there? Is that this? Yes, it is. Okay. Beautiful. Shrink this down a bit. Put that over there, I think. What is that little blue spot? Hold on. What is that? Oh, that's the notepad. Okay. All right. So, welcome back, my friends. Today we are doing some retro achievement development. Make sure we're staying hydrated. So, first things first. I mentioned this in one of my satisfactory videos, but in case you didn't see it, let me jump over here. Browser. Let's go ahead and switch over to this. All right, so here we are on RetroAchievements.org. This is where the action is at. So in case you didn't see my update previously, I was working on a set for Dr. Muto. And as you can see here, that set has been released. It is available now. Fire up PCSX2 and sign in to RetroAchievements, and you can start unlocking these. So, got a very nice set, 73 achievements. I am very proud of it. And in fact, this set did get me graduated. Yes, prior to this, I was a junior. I was in the junior developer program over there, and I did 2 sets. I did Old Towers, and then I released Dr. Muto. And after that, they said, "Hey, you seems like you understand what you're doing. It seems like you know what you're talking about. So we will take the shackles off. You can have free reign." So that's exciting. So then I said that's awesome, and we're going to jump over here and work on the Omega Strain. So let's switch back over to this guy. All right. So where I'm at right now, I've been chasing a couple things down. I've got some interesting stuff noted. Some of this I had last time I streamed development. Some of this is new. So what do we have? We have our player, and I've noted down weapon type offsets, along with all of the possible values. And we can track current ammo and ammo remaining and weapon type for all of the different inventory slots. Found a little bit of mission information, including a couple GUI related things, I think. I'm still kind of scratching at that one. We have if I jump over here, flip over to 8-bit mode, you can see right here, we have the level, which this is kind of interesting. When you're in a level, it's the name of that level. When you're on the main menu, you can see it changes, if I get my cursor out of the way, to whatever the name of the level you have highlighted is, which is kind of strange. But that is interesting. Let's see, what else? Got the player stats. So this is all of the stats in here. All of the, not that stuff. All this stuff. See, mission count. We have the mission stats table. That's this. So that tracks all these things. Digging into some inventory stuff. I still haven't quite nailed that down. Anything that's in red over here is a note that I have not saved. And usually it's because I'm not entirely sure about it. Whereas the black ones I've submitted for the RA server to keep track of, because I'm pretty confident with those. Here we have something interesting, which seems to be a pointer to the player's current target. It feels kind of squishy, because if you face in the target's general direction, it'll update. So I'm not super confident in using it for an achievement, but We have it. Got some controller related stuff that I haven't dug out. We have our frame timer. Here's where our dynamic memory starts, which means anything after this point, we need to find a pointer to it. I found all of the stuff tracking the objectives for all of these things. If I dig into, so like these and these. I found some interesting stuff with enemy factions, and I can actually make enemies friendly and things by modifying this stuff. Not entirely sure how that stuff works, but it exists. And then here's what I was looking at most recently. Let's jump into a level. Doesn't matter which level. Still here. That's interesting. It's very interesting. All right, let's go ahead and load up. Okay. So you can see up here, I've got my current health, my current ammo for my back weapon frozen, which means I have infinite health and infinite ammo. But what I've been trying to find right now is the state of objectives, trying to track which objectives have been completed and failed. And I found some of that here. So you can see, like, we have this replace biodata gear. If I change this to, let's look at the full list. If I change this to 1, you can see it disappears. And now it's completed. And if I set it to 2, you can see it goes down to failed. And if I set this to 0, it disappears entirely. So this is how hidden objectives work. So I have these 2 flags. And these are all, this is way up in our dynamic range. So I've been trying to find a static way to access these per level. And I think I have something. I've traced. You can see in our notepad there, I've got a couple notes on this. Here's where my objective flag status is. Here, looking through the disassembly, here's how we got to that. And then, while I was looking for, the problem is above this point, it disappears into really difficult to trace logic, but I did manage to come across this area here, 5C6, D50. And this is a really interesting block of memory. If I switch to 32-bit, this maps to this, you'll see. And this level in this configuration has 7 objectives, and you can see all 7 of those are set here. This appears to be an array of pointers to the objectives in the level, and we can confirm this. So if I quit this level, and I go to one that has a different number of objectives, let's see, where can we go? So that was Carthage 1. It has 7 non-team objectives. Let's jump into Yemen 1. This has 13. And if we watch this memory right here, we can see they're all zeros right now. But then as soon as I hit this, it's going to take a second to load. And then, come on. Boom. Look at that. We have 13 objectives. All right there. And I bet if we go look at this, 1 CCAE 30. 01 CCAE 30. And we switch over to 8-bit. Objective added, eliminate VIP to obtain credentials. Let's go ahead and start the mission. Look at that. Eliminate the VIP to obtain credentials. That's it right there. So this block, what was it? 5C, 6C, huh? That's not right. C. Wait, what? Five C. Oh, 6. Up a little. Oh yeah, it's down there. D50. There it is. So this seems to be the list of objectives for the current level. Oh, let me do this. If I do, hold on. Okay, I think that should mute the game. Let's get some tunes going, huh? Because I'm going to be pausing and we're going to spend a lot of time in the debugger. There's not going to be much here. Let's see. I had a playlist. Recently played. Copyright free. I think this is it. Okay. There. Let me just confirm. That that's coming through. Yes. Cool. Awesome. All right. There. So. All right. So what are we trying to do here? So I've got these and I've got these down here. And what I need to do now is see if I can find a way to access these from a static address. And we do that with the debugger primarily. So let's, do I have the debugger on here somewhere? I should. Not that one. There it is. The debugger. All right. So, the way this works, let me make sure I'm keeping this down in the visible part of the screen. Right there, okay. All right. So we know this is going to be at that address. So let's see if we can find something here. So we can go 5C6D50. Description, we're going to say objective array. I can do read or write. I don't necessarily care. This is 4. And let's just do that. Oh, Okay, so it's something we are reading constantly, it looks like. 5C6050 coming from T9. Okay, that's fine. We're loading into S3. So where does T9 come from? T9 comes from here. S0 plus B0. What is S0? S0 is not currently set. Okay. Let's just place a breakpoint and continue and see if we get lucky. S0 is 5C6CA0. Okay. Plus B0. Is that the right address? 5C6 S0 I said. 5C6CA0 plus B0 is 5C6D50. Okay. Is that what I had in my notes? 5C6A0 plus B0. It is. So, all right. So I had already noticed that. I'm kind of starting it over for the sake of the stream to follow the train of thought, but okay. Right. So how do I get to 5C6CA0? Let's look here. If I hide the debugger, there we go. Let's search for that here. So 5C6CA0. Does that appear in memory? No, it does not. Okay, that's fine. Just means we're gonna have to try a little bit harder. So where does S0 come from? S0 comes from here. S0 plus A0. A0 is 5C6C20. I think I had noted that in my notes as well, right? 5C6C20 plus 80 is that. So 5C6C20. Okay. So all right, so if I do a new search and I search for 5C6C20, we get 4 results. If any of these are static, then we're done. And we have access to the objectives from a static point. That's our goal. So what do we got here? We got, this is interesting, something way up or down, like way near the beginning. I've never seen an address that low. I wonder if that's safe. It might be. It's low enough that it's probably in the code region. Let's note that. Maybe low enough to be static. We'll have to see where that gets set, if it does. Okay. Where is this one? This one is at 18E50. That's also really low. Kernel RAM. Oh, wait. Wait. Is this kernel RAM? It is. Is it okay to use kernel RAM? I have no idea. Let's see. Anything below 100,000 on PS2 is kernel memory and will change depending on BIOS. Okay. Okay, so we want to avoid using kernel RAM. All right, so then these two are out. We can exclude those. So we have two more here. This one is way up over 1F, so this is in stack memory. We don't want to use that if we can avoid it, so let's go ahead and exclude that. So we have a single value at 5C7DF0. C7DF0 and oh no, sorry, DF8. Okay, and I had actually identified this and I bookmarked it here. 5C7DF8. Let me actually get rid of a bunch of this stuff. There. Okay, 5C7DF8. So this seems to point to our objectives. So we need to know if this is static. So we do the same thing. Let's bring our debugger back. Can delete those. And we are looking for, what did I say it was? $5C7DF8. Pointer to the thing. 4. Okay. Okay. So we are loading from V0 plus 8. So V0 is 5C7DF0, and we're adding 8. That makes sense. So back over here in our notepad, we're going to say let's see, this was pointing to 5C6C20. And then we get there by doing 0x 5C7DF0, did I say? V0? Yeah, 5C7 plus 0x8 equals 5C7DF8. Okay? Don't need to worry about that. I don't think. Confirm source of 0x80. Okay. And so now we need to know where 5C7DF0 comes from. So where does V0 come from? Stack pointer plus 5C. That's unfortunate. So for those of you who are not as familiar with memory concepts, each function in the system's code has an area of memory dedicated to that function. It also has a block of memory that is used to move data from one function to the next. What am I trying to say? The function can push data into that memory. Each function, when it calls a new function, it grabs a block of memory, and that function can push data into that memory whenever it wants to. With the caveat that when it pushes that data in, it then has to pull that data, or it can pull that data back off. The stack pointer is that. So it's just a block of local memory for that function. Unfortunately, because of the way that memory works, it's very difficult to get data out of it from our side. So what do I need? I need to see if I can find somewhere where it stores data at SP plus 5C. What is SP here? 1FFF 950. Let's put this in our notes. 1FFF 950. We don't want to use that data directly, but if we can identify when our pointer gets pushed into it, then maybe we can still find out where it comes from. So this is pulling the data out. Where does the data get pushed in, though? There's SP30, 2010, 0. How do I save an address? I would like to be able to create like a bookmark so that I can just come back here. And I see this like saved addresses thing. I guess I can do it this way. 3CA CDC. Actually, I guess I should put it on 3CAD10. Because that's the address I actually care about. 3CAD10. Read objective array pointer from stack. Okay, cool. All right, so I need to jump into these functions and see if any of them... Oh, wait a minute. V0. Wait a minute. What am I looking at here? Stack pointer plus 5C. Add stack pointer plus 5C to V0. Add 5C to the stack pointer and store in V0. Wait a minute. Something's weird. And then store... What is SWC1? That's store... SWC1 is... Store word from front loading. Adds the 16-bit signed offset to the value of GPR base and store the contents of FPR in memory with the obtained effective address. Oh, really? So that's going to store F0. FPR 0. What? Store 14E in V0? That doesn't make any sense at all. Okay, hold on. Maybe one of these functions jumped me. Let's see. Where am I? I am at 3CA-D14. 3CA. These all go to B, so these all jump me back up. That's the top of the function. All right, let's jump into one of these. Follow branch. Store V1 in A0. Store V1 in A0. That's this one. Load A1 into V1. And then store V1 into A0. Ugh. I really wish there was a way for me to rewind this. It would be very helpful because I can't know under what context this runs. Like, I need to know what the values of these registers were, like here, or at this point, or at this point. But I need it in the context of this run, not some random other run, because I don't know what this function does. I'm going to take a flyer. We're going to try this. And just see what happens. All right, we have our stack pointer here. So we're going to store RA. Store that. Store S2. Store S1. Okay. And if I go up and look at that address, we should see all that stuff. 1 FFF 950. Plus 30, there's one, there's that. Plus 20, plus 10. Yep, okay, good. Now we're gonna take A1, which is 1 FFFC00. We're gonna put that in S2, which it happens to already be there, but okay. All right. And now we're gonna store S0, which is 4EE1E0. We're gonna store that in stack pointer, so we should see this red number here change. 4EE1E0, yep, okay. Now we're gonna store 0 into S1. Good. A0 is 4FFB50. We're going to store that in S0. Right here. Okay. And then we're going to take our stack pointer plus 50. So this should be 1FFF9A, I think. And store that in A0 right here. Yep, there we go. Okay, now we're going to do S0 plus 20. So that's going to be 4FFB70. And we're going to persist that into A1. Uh-huh. All right, we're going to do A1 plus 4 equals V1. Yep, 4FF, B7, 4. Good. And then we're going to store V1. We're going to store this into A0. 1FF A9, 9A0. So this value right here, we should see change. Yep, there it goes. Okay. So far, so good. Now we're going to do stack pointer plus 54 into A0. Uh-huh. Stack pointer plus 50 into A1. Uh-huh. Load A1 into V1. Okay. Put A0 into V0. Okay. And then store V1 into A0. We should see that here. Yep. Okay. S0 plus 20 into A1. Yep. Okay. Now we're going to load. Now this is notable because I think we set this one recently. Right? Stack pointer plus 54. What is stack pointer plus 54? This is the one we just set. And we're going to pull that out and put it into S0. So we should see this change to 4FFB74. There it goes. Good. Okay, now we're going to do SP4C. And we're going to load 4FFB78 into V1. Wait. 5C16A0. Okay. And then we're going to store V1 into A0. Okay. Okay. Now we're going to do stack pointer plus 58 into A0. Stack pointer plus 4C into A1. Load A1 into V1. Put A0 into V0. Store V1 into A0. Okay, that's fine. All right. Here's the one we care about, 5C. That's our magic number. So, stack pointer plus 58 goes into V1. Plus 5C goes into V0. Okay. So it seems like the way this function is working, V1 seems to be like previous, and V0 is current. And it's walking through the stack. Now, this is wild to me. So we're gonna load V1 into F0. What is it, V1? A98. 1 FFF A9 8. What is this? V1 is 1 FFF A9A8. 9A8 is currently 3F8. Now 3F8 I'm starting to recognize, I believe, is just the number 1. When you see this 3F8, I'm pretty sure in the float, oops. Wait, what the heck? Ah! Wait a minute. Hold the phone. What just happened there? Wait a minute. Something's wrong. Hold up. Pause. What's going on here? V1 is 1 FFF 9A8. 1 FFF 9A8 is this. And we're going to store this in F0. What? And then we're going to store it in V0. Why? Wait. What? Wait. What just happened? Why? I have so many issues. Why is it using a floating point register to do that? When it wasn't using that anywhere else. And when did that change? I didn't notice that change. All right, hold on. We're gonna have to try this again. Run it again. Okay, it's clear now. Step, step, step. Still clear? Yes. The problem is this memory inspector window kind of gets out of date. Like, it doesn't refresh automatically while you're stepping through the debugger. So I have to come over here and scroll to make it refresh. And if I forget to do that, it makes things confusing. So I just want to step through a step at a time. We're watching for this to change. Okay. And just step over the first one, that's fine. Okay, step over the second one, that's fine. Oh, okay. Step, good. Step, good. Let me step into here. Step, V1. Look at that. Yo, we got it. That's it. 5C16A0. Wait, is that the number I was looking for? Wait, no, it's not. Ah, my brain. Okay, hold on. Because we don't know the context under which we are here. But we know that this is coming from A1 plus 8. So... and we know that's happening in here. A1 plus 8. So can I put a breakpoint here with a condition that V1 equals I don't think it's df0. I think it's df0 minus 8. No. Yes. No. I think it's df0 minus 8. Am I confusing myself? Absolutely. 5C7 df0 minus 8 is 5C7 DE8. Let me try that. Nope, that didn't work. That unpaused our game. Okay. Okay. All right, so that didn't work at all. Let me go back to here. Wait a minute. No, let me go back to here. V0, let's walk through this again. V0 is 5C7 DF0. V0 comes from SP plus 5C. Which gets set in here. Load, store, V1. Wait. Ah, my brain. Okay. We're loading from V1 and storing in V0 and then loading from V0. So V0 is 5C7 DF0. So that came out of V1 here. It came out of V1 here, which means it is in slot 58. Okay, so it's in slot 58. Slot 58 was A0 here. A1 is getting stored into A0. Oh man. Oh, this is hurting my brain. Okay. V0 at this point is this value, 5C7DF0. That's what we're trying to get to. V0 comes from stack slot 5C. Right? Comes from stack slot 5C. Now here, V0 is the address of stack slot 5C. So we store. So this line here is us storing C7DF0 into stack slot 5C. Right? No. Oh, this... What? What is this doing? This doesn't make any sense. We are here, right? We are here, which means that V0 is, right now, 5C7DF0. Right now, at this point, we know that. Fixed, lock it down. That comes from stack pointer 5C. Stack pointer is 1FFF950 plus 5C. 1FFF950 plus 5C is 1FFF9AC. That's this value right here. And there we can see it, 5C7DF0. Okay. So if I put a breakpoint here, and I run it, 5C16A0. This is fine because Yeah, this is fine. So let's do this. Let's put a breakpoint here. And I want to put a conditional on here that v0 equals 0x 5c7df0. Okay, run it. It's not. It's not. Why is it not? Wait. Oh. Wait. I think I got it. Get rid of this. Hold on. It's staring me in the face. Run it. No, turn that off. Branch if V0 and S0 are equal. V0, they're not equal. They're not equal at all. I wish. So what I would love to be able to do is put memory lookup logic in this condition. So like I can say, I know I can say like V0 equals 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can do that. What I would love to be able to do is say, like for 1 FFF9AC equals 0x for FFB74. So then this will only break if the thing at this address is that value. I don't think this will work. No, even though it should, because that's not valid syntax. Yeah, this is not a valid condition. If there's a way to do this, if anyone knows, let me know. It would make life so much easier. Because then what I could do is, because I know where I'm expecting V0 to be, I could look up and make sure the address I'm expecting to be in V0 plus 8 is actually in V0 plus 8. And this would break it only in that scenario, which is what I want, but... Is this the same code? Wait a minute. This is not the same code. It looks like the same code. But it's not. This is loading from stack pointer slot 4C. Oh, this stack pointer stuff is driving me crazy. This is way harder than anything I had to do on Dr. Muto. And I'm really digging in on this particular aspect. So the game in general has, I suspect, a lot of the things that I was kind of thinking about potentially doing achievements for are going to be pretty difficult. I can do unlocks. I can do, I think I can do the rank. I can do the medals and the commendations. I can do the Zeus files. That's all pretty straightforward. But when it comes to stuff that's in the level, excuse me, when it comes to the stuff that's in the level, it doesn't feel like the game really maintains a lot of like state flags. It's kind of just individual objects and whether they exist or not, whether they're turned on or off. So for instance, in Dr. Muto, you have the area in the furnaces with the steel beams. There's like 5 steel beams and you can knock them down. So in the game's memory, it tracks flags for that to say, you know, steel beam 1 knocked down, steel beam 2 knocked down, steel beam 3 knocked down. And I was able to find those, and that's how I built that achievement. I don't think there is anything in this game that is persistent across levels. Not unlocks, but like there is no scenario here where if you do something in one level, it causes a change in a different level. That's not how this game works. When you start a mission, that mission restarts from 0 every time. So those kinds of flags don't really matter. And the game doesn't need to keep track of things. It doesn't really necessarily need to keep track of whether something has happened yet or not. And that makes things really, it makes it very difficult to make achievements off of that, because those state flags are like the thing to check. So objectives are the closest thing to those kinds of state flags that I found so far. And I feel like I'm so close. This block of memory that we're talking about, this one at 5C6050, it feels static, man. Oh, it feels static. It feels like it is in the same point, is in the same place in memory every single time I load a level and I move around. But it might change when you restart the game. We can check that though. Right? Let's check that. Let's go to 5C6050. 5C6050. There it is. Okay. And we are going to reset the game. So now the question is, when I enter a level, does this block of memory get initialized to the objective list? If yes, there's a very good chance that even if it jumps through some pointer hoops to get here, this is ultimately static. Nope, that's not what I meant to do. All right, here we go. Come on, baby. There it is. There it is. Okay, so there is a very good chance that this 5C6D50 address is static. But because even through a game restart, it loaded in the exact same location. But we can't guarantee that. I'm just thinking, C6 CA0 C20 5C7 DF8 DF0 5C7, not 6-7. Okay. Okay. Hold on, so we have two more candidates here. 5C6C04 and 5CE5F0. Okay. Let's try this one. 5C6 C0. Actually, here's the thing to do. Hold on. Let's bookmark both of these. Bookmark selected. And now we can see if they change. So now let's go ahead and start the level. Let me just go ahead and do this. If either of those values change at any point, then we can't use them. They're both holding steady. Okay. Okay. All right, so they both held steady. That's good. So let's see if these are used anywhere. Let's go back to our debugger. We can get rid of all this. New. Let's look at the first one. 5C6C04. Size 4. call this first. Okay. (5C6CO4) is coming from V0. V0 is coming from the stack pointer. Comes from 5C6 C00 plus 0x4 from SP. Okay, that's fine. And let's try the second one. 5CE5F0. Size 4. That's not being called at all. Interesting. Okay. Not called. All right, we'll hold off on that. Let's take a look at this one. 5C6C00. This is starting to make me a little nervous. All right. This comes from 2 entries. 5C6BA4 and 5C7DF0. Okay. Take a look at those. 5C6BA4 okay. Comes from 5C6BA0 plus 4. Comes from SP. 4C. Okay. 5C7DF0. Isn't called at all. Okay. Let's try it again. Let's do a search for 5C6BA4. No. Oh, BA0. Wait a minute. Five C6C00. Didn't I already see that one? Yeah, here. 5C16A4. I'm getting lost. The problem with these pointer chains is once you get so far down, like, I start losing track of where I am. It's part of why development on this set has been moving so slow compared to the first two sets I did. The pointer chains here are so long that I'm just losing track of where I'm at, and I have to keep kind of backing up or starting over, and it's frying my brain. See, we have 8 folks hanging out. Hello. Hope you are enjoying the stream. Hope you hope you're enjoying the music. If anything, if you can hear the music, or if you can't hear the music, or you need me to change volume levels or anything, let me know. If there's anything you want more information about, let me know in the chat. We're just kind of vibing, crunching at this. Not the most exciting stream, but I'm glad to have you guys here, and hope you're enjoying it. All right. Okay, so So 5CFDF0. Hold on. And I need to back up. 5C7DF0. 5C7DF0. Right. Right. And we trace that to here. 5C6C04. Right. And we put a breakpoint on that and said it's coming from 5C6C00 plus 4. Let's just get rid of these secondary ones for now because it's screwing me up. Not that one. And this is in stack pointer slot what? 5C6C04 on read 4. Okay. Yep. Okay. So V0 5C6C00 plus 4, and that's coming out of stack pointer 5C. Okay. Okay. Okay, get rid of that. All right. So now we said let's look for 5C6C00. 5C6C00. That led us to these two. And we took the BA4 one. BA4. And we did a new breakpoint. 5C6BA4, size 4, okay. That's coming out of the stack pointer. But it's BA0 plus 4. Yes, okay. So now we do the same thing again, right? 5C6 BA0 and we get 2. We get 5C6 C00 and 5C16A4. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait. Wait a minute. So this occurs at 5C16A4, 5C6C00. Maybe it's coincidence? Okay. So we'll do the same thing, put a breakpoint here. New. And 5C1 6A0. Okay. Doesn't seem to be called. And then let's put one at 5C6C00. What? Wait a minute, what? Okay, maybe I typoed. Alright, so this one is not called. This one points at. Five C1 6A0 plus 4, which comes from stack pointer 4C. Okay. Okay. So we'll do the same thing. 5C16A0. Oh, okay. Okay, we've got a little bit of something now. Let's remove this one because it's in kernel RAM. And let's remove these because they're in stack RAM. We're back to 2. Okay. So our 2 is 4FFB78. And 5C6BA0. This reusing these values is really freaking me out. Well, let's try this one. Address 4FFB70. No, sorry, B78. Yeah. Size 4. Okay. Run. What is that? That's different. Hold up. Hold the phone. Okay, this is coming from A1 4FFB70 plus 8. Where does A1 come from? A0 is 4C. What? No, wait. Okay, it certainly looks like it probably comes from the stack. I'm not 100% sure about that. Running out of water. But that's probably what's happening. Wait. 4FFB70. I know that value. Why do I know that value? 4FFB50 is the start of the root object. Which is something I found, but apparently didn't feel comfortable enough recording. 4FFB70. There is nothing recording that. How about B50? B50 is recorded all over the place. Is that static? Okay. 4FF. Wait. New. 4FFB 70. Wait. Oh, I'm getting confused. I'm so close. 4FF B78 size 4. Is A1 4FF B70 plus 8. Step out. Where does A1 come from? A1 comes from S0 plus 20. Wait, S0 plus 20. Wait. Edit condition. S0 equals 4 FFB 50. Okay. Hold up. Oh, we're so close. 4FF B50 plus 20. 4FF B70 equals 4FF B50 plus 20. I just need to know. So I had found at some point, I had found 4FF B50. And I called it start of root object. How did I get here? I don't remember. But if I can prove that 4FFB50 is static, I think we've got it. I think we've got a whole pointer chain all the way to the objectives. And if this is if I'm calling this the root object, that means it's probably static, but I just need to prove that. Oh, we're so close. And there's so many things pointing to it. Where does S0 come from here? S0 comes from A0. Here. So if I put a breakpoint there, and can I conditional it on A0 equals 4FFB50? Yes, yes I can. Okay. Come on, baby. A0 comes from S2. Yep. Okay. Where does S2 come from? S2 is being used for a bunch of things. S2, S2. Let me go to the top of this function. That's usually a good place to look for these kind of starter objects. S2 comes from A0. Curse you! Okay, but we can do it with this. We can do this again. And put a condition. A0 equals 4FFB50. Run. Yep, okay. So A0 is coming from up above. Coming from S1. Yep. Oh, inside this jump. That's fine. Where does S1 come from? A0? Okay, let's just keep tracing it up. S0. S0. 4FFB50. Let's copy that. Run it. No! No, sorry, that should be, wait, that's my fault. Edit. That should be A0. Yes! Okay. We're almost there. A0. Step up. A0 comes from S4. Let's put a breakpoint here. We want to check S4. Okay, so far so good. Where does S4 come from? S4 comes from A1. Yep, it sure does. It's from A1. Step out. Wait, is that it? A1, 50 minus 4B0. That's it. 4FFB50 is a static address. Oh, we got it. Yes. Okay. Whoo, doggy. All right. Wow. All right. So 4FFB50 is where we start. Then we say plus 20 goes to 4FFB70. That gets us here. Then we do plus 8 takes us to 4FF 4FFB78. Wait a minute. Okay, we can get rid of all these not called ones. We don't need them. Hold on. Get rid of this. Am I off the bottom of my... I think I am. Let me... Where is that? That's here? Oh, wow. You're not even seeing this at all. Okay, I can do it this way. There we go. Okay. All right. B5 plus 20 is B70. B70 plus 8 is B78. 8. Right. Right. So then the reference, so 4FFB78 is a pointer to 5C16A0, right? And then we say 0x5C16A4. So that points me to 5C16A0. Let's go out there. 5C16A0. Plus 4. That goes to 5C16A0. Equals. Then that's a reference that points there. So then 5C16A0, this equals 0x5C16A0 plus 0x4. And then we say the reference 0x5C16A4, which is here, points us to 5C6BA0. Then five C6 BA4, 5C6 BA4 equals 5C6BA0 plus 4, 5C6BA4, there it is. So we reference 5C6BA4, and that points me to 5C 0x5C6C00. Then 5C6C04 equals 5C6C00 plus 4. Okay. Points me to, so we dereference 5C 6C04, points me to 5C 7DF0. Now we're here. Five C 7 DF8. DF8 equals 0x5C7 DF0 plus 0x8. And then we dereference 5C7 DF8, and that points us to 5C 6C20. Okay, and then 0x 5C 6 CA0 equals 5C6 C20 plus 80. And then five C6 D50 equals 5C6 CA0 plus B0. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is my pointer chain. Oh, Lord. That was nasty. But we got there. Now, there's one more little wrinkle here, which is 5C6CA0. How are we doing on time? We're doing okay. 5C6CA0. We have this piece right here. And I said this 80 is a dynamic offset, which worries me. So we need to confirm that this 80 is actually static as well. Everything else here I am super comfortable with. It's just that one piece. So let's put so we can get rid of all this now, thankfully, finally. Let's do a new breakpoint on where? I am so far out of the loop now. Let's do 5C6 D50. Okay. Run. What? What? Wait. Why is it not? Wait. Oh, right. That gets set. Hold on. There we go. I want to do that instead. Okay. And then that will happen when we enter the level. Or when we quit the level, but... because here it'll go to all zeros. I'm not going to worry about that though. I want to focus on entering a level, not leaving a level. Although, now that I think about it, leaving a level might be easier because it's not dependent on the level. I'm going to be so mad if I check that and it's like just a static address or something. Okay. All right, let's go back to the debugger. So here is this V0 plus B0. Yep. Okay. And I want to go on the line right before it and search for V0 equals... Wait. I need V0. V0 is this. 5C6CA0. V0 is 0 here. Because my address is coming from V1. So V1 plus S3 here. Right here. This is the one I want. And we want the condition to be S3 equals 0x 5C 6C 20. Okay. V0 is 80. Where does that come from? That's the question. It comes from right here. We're taking S2 and shifting left 7 spots. What is S2? 1. Okay. Let me just confirm that in my calculator here. 1, shift left, 7. That's very clearly 80. Okay. So where is S2 coming from? Do we know that S2 is a 1? If we can prove that S2 is always 1, then I think we're golden. Okay. A1 equals 1. Okay. A1 is 1 here. So let's step out. No! Why? Why do you do this to me? It's pulling from the stack. Okay. Wait a minute. That's just going to be here, isn't it? We're loading A1 from stack pointer 1C. Here we're storing V0 into stack pointer 1C. So if I do this, can I just say V0 equals 1? That totally works. Okay. Okay. We're loading from A0 plus 4. Oh, that's another stack pointer. Stack pointer D0 plus 4. Yep. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. A0 equals 1 here? What is SP? 1FF EC40. What? What? That makes no sense. SP is 1FF EC40. Add that, add D0 to that. And you get 1FF ED10, not 1. Oh, this is a... Crap, this is a jump. That's a delay slot. Shoot. Jump to the address in V0. Which right now there is no address in V0. Okay, let's just try this. Man. Wait a minute. Can I just assume that it's 80? That's the problem here. Can I assume this value? If I can, then this is all good. If I can't, that's so frustrating. We have the whole pointer chain. It just comes down to and all these other indexes, all these other offsets are static. It just comes down to this one value. If this value is hard-coded somewhere, we're done. All right, well, my brain is fried and we're at the 2 hour mark, so I think we're gonna call this one here. 12 viewers, my friends. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this. I know it's a little bit slower than my usual gameplay content, but I do, and for as much as this is exhausting me, I really enjoy doing this retro achievement development stuff. And I'm so excited getting to make sets and release them for all of you. I'll just remind you all, let me jump back to this retro achievements. Where's my window capture? Bam. Is that it? That's it. Yikes. Hold on. Let me pop this open right about there. And switch this over here. Here we go. Just to remind you, over here in Retro Achievements, the Dr. Muto set is done and released and publicly available. Head on over, hook up your PCSX2 and give it a shot. Let me know what you think. I put a lot of work into this. That doesn't mean it's perfect, but I am excited to see how that goes. Got a bunch of folks in Total Tech, a couple folks in Aquium. Anyway, that's available. Let me know what you think. If you've enjoyed this, if you want to see more programming content, let me know. Let me know in the comments. Let me know in the chat. Hit that like button. It really helps me out. Lets me know that you want to see more of this. It lets YouTube know you want to see more of this. And it lets YouTube let other people know that they might want to see it too. If you have any other ideas, if you want to help with the development stuff, if you want to be notified of new streams going live, obviously you can do the YouTube stuff. Subscribe, notification bell. You can also more reliably join my Discord. You'll find the link in the description. Notifications go out there every single time I go live, and we can chat in between streams in real time. I am always on there, and we can talk about retro achievements. We can talk about development. We can talk about new games that you would like to see me play or things to do in those games. I love getting to chat with you all. So I look forward to seeing you there. And yeah, so with that, my friends, I want to thank you once again so much for watching. You did not have to spend your evening bumming around with me, but you did, and I appreciate it. And I had a great time. So with that, have a very wonderful evening, and I will see you next time.